Welcome to the first episode of our Syrian adventure. As we leave the vibrant city of Beirut behind and make our way across the border into Syria, there's a sense of stepping into a story that's both ancient and unfolding in real time. A lot of people I know have asked me, is it safe? Well, we'll find out together as we cross this historic threshold. For most of us, in recent memory, Syria has been a place that has only been on the news for all the wrong reasons. A lot of people would probably say it's one of the most dangerous places on earth. However, things have changed recently. And when I say recently, it's a year back. But in context of what's happening in Syria, that is still pretty recent. In December 2024, the Bashar al-Assad regime fell. This was after 50 years of dictatorship by both Bashar al-Assad and his father. This ended decades of civil war where hundreds of thousands of people had died. Millions of people had been displaced and are now refugees in other countries. Assad's regime was replaced by Ahmad al-Shara, who is now the president of Syria. At one point, he was a rebel commander and he served in both the al-Nusra Front from 2012 to 2017, and then he was the founder of Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, which is HTS. At this point in time, he is the de facto leader of Syria. The new administration does not have experience in governance, let's face that. So a lot of things are evolving as we speak. You're going to watch in this video the fragile nature of where Syria is today. I want to be very careful in what I say here. Yes, I'm in Syria. Never thought I'd say this. But is this for everyone? I wouldn't say so. With the current situation, every day there's a new change, there's a new update, there's a new conflict. Things can change really quick. So when you come here, you want to ensure that you've covered all bases, you're prepared, and you have a local guide. I worked with Syrian guides, and I would say they're by far one of the best travel guides I've ever worked with. Rami and Mary and their team did everything they could to make this a seamless, comfortable, and enjoyable trip.
We are in Damascus, guys.
This is the magical Rami. That's Bashar with us.
Hello, everyone.
Specifically, Rami and his background on geopolitical history within Syria was very informative and added context to the different places that we were seeing. So let's start with the journey from Beirut to Damascus. In this particular episode, I'm going to walk you through the border crossing experience from Beirut into Damascus and my first day in Damascus. Okay, so we are officially in Syria. I've crossed the border. That's the border crossing right there. That's what the border looks like. We were able to get through easily. And then that's entering into Damascus. Just got here and we're walking into the old city. That's where the hotel is.
Via Recta Hotel.
Via Recta, yes. This is our hotel. Incidentally, given that this was 24th December, we also got to witness Christmas festivities in Damascus. Hello.
Hello.
Here we are, arriving in the heart of Damascus. I'm checking into this beautiful Old Damascene house, lovingly turned into a hotel. It's called the Via Recta. You can see the intricate details, the courtyard that whispers tales from centuries ago. It's like stepping back in time, and it's the perfect base to start exploring.
I mean, it's Christmas Day. Still pretty busy.
Now let's hit the streets. Damascus is a feast for the senses.
Hey, so we're in Syria, and there's a liquor store here, which is amazing. I didn't know you'd find liquor stores that pretty much have everything. You've got Black Label, Jaeger. Wow.
The smell of fresh spices, the call of the vendors, and right here is where you'll find what I call the best shawarma I've ever tasted.
Really nice shawarma here.
It's these little everyday moments that show the warmth and life of the city. And there's something magical about being here during Christmas. You might not think of Syria as a place to see festive lights and decorations, but here we are.
Christmas, yeah, Merry Christmas for everyone.
You as well.
We are staying late today.
Okay.
So we are
So
not.
meet the artists here behind all these beautiful things. والله تمام الحمد لله طمنا عن
Is that oil paint?
Yeah, everything is oil painting on canvas.
On
and
canvas.
Original. Each piece is original for its artist.
Awesome. So they're all commissioned.
أهلا فيك شو أخبارك؟ منيحة تمام. You can see inspired like the minarets, the drums, the
Document in Old Damascus, but each one with his own style, you know.
Right.
We're visiting a local church and reflecting on the Christian community here in Damascus. They've faced their share of struggles in recent times, yet they remain a resilient and integral part of the city's tapestry. You're going to hear the word resilient many times across the Syria series, and that's because there are very few countries in the world that can stand up to what Syria represents in terms of resilience and sheer willpower. The ability to rebuild time and again, century after century, is something that you need to really witness to believe.
رياستك ملكا فليذكر الرب إله في ملكوته كل حين لا أنا وكل والد وإلى دهر الآبدين.
As the night falls, we're joining a Christmas Eve party that's full of joy and hospitality.
Thank you. This is what we've come for dinner.
Gisellina, الناس طلعوا القمر وقمر زلنا.
I'm not going to make this video a documentary or a news broadcast, but it's important that I provide you some context about why the geopolitical situation in Syria is so, for lack of a better word, effed up. So I'm going to go back 15 years, 2011. The Syrian civil war started in 2011 as protests against Assad's regime were inspired by the Arab Spring, which was a wave of uprisings across the Middle East demanding democracy. Also, they wanted an end to dictatorship and corrupt governments. But after the brutal crackdown, it spiraled into a full-scale war involving rebels and other militias. The Free Syrian Army was the first major rebel group supported by Turkey, but over time, it dissolved and lost influence. Now, a militant group called HTS, which is short for Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, and was once part of Al-Qaeda, controls the majority of Syria and has a large base in Idlib, a northwestern Syrian city which I will be covering later. Meanwhile, ISIS, or the Islamic State, took over Syria and Iraq, enforcing extreme rule through mass killings. They were later defeated, but a few members still linger in the desert of Syria. Finally, we have the Syrian Democratic Forces, who are mostly led by Kurds, a stateless ethnic group in the northeast. They received US support to fight ISIS, but now Turkey sees them as a major threat. Russia and Iran have backed Assad's government, while the opposition has been supported by Gulf states such as Qatar. It is mind-boggling how complicated the geopolitics of this region is, and it breaks my heart that kids and families have been caught in the crossfire of these shifting power dynamics for years. Why am I telling you all of this? It is important to know at least the last 15 years, let alone the last 100 years of Syrian history, because if you look back in the last 15 years, you will see why Syria is where it's at today. In the next few videos, I'm going to cover Palmyra and other parts of Syria such as Aleppo, which as we speak is under a lot of attack and people are being evacuated.
The fighting between the Syrian army and the Kurdish-led Syrian Democratic Forces in Aleppo has killed 6 people and injured 19 others. Hospitals have been flooded with wounded people, including children. The fighting comes as an SDF delegation was in Damascus for stalled talks with the government about integrating its fighters into the national army.
It is important to understand a little bit of this background to see why getting a one-size-fits-all solution for this country is very hard. If you like the content on this channel, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. It really helps us out.